it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and hit that great big bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. And if you don't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this beautiful book, 47 Asexual Stories. It's called Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com and of Asexualise Academy. Welcome to tonight's episode, which is all about sex is a choice, but asexuality is not a choice. Okay, so I've told you recently that I'm in a group which isn't for asexuals called UK Singles, which is on Facebook. And it's basically got a bunch of sexual people in there. And I was hoping to maybe just find one person who was a guy who was a romantic asexual in the UK out of it. I've had a woman saying she thinks she's reading my post that she's asexual, which is great, but I'm not homoromantic, I'm heteromantic. So that's no good for me. But there's a lot of foreign guys in there actually, but sadly they're very sexual. Really love sex, which is you know, not great. But my point is I am spreading awareness of asexuality in there, and there's this guy and he was talking about, you know, things that are more important to him, such as friendship, a person's personality and all the rest of it. So I was mentioned him in a comment, he was mentioning me back, and then he was saying, oh, I really appreciate your choice. So I'll see if I can find it. So, you know, I was like, do you know what I mean? It's not a choice. So, and I've got another guy messaging me now, you know? Where is it? So, yeah, I'm in this group. I mean, I think it's very, very important, you know, that if you are online dating and you are going to be in sexual groups anyway, or online in sexual sites, that you do mention your asexuality, right? I think it's really, really important and imperative. You shouldn't be keeping that type of thing. And so, so basically, I'm in this group. So here we go. Let's find it for you. I'm looking down at my phone because this is a like from earlier. This guy was messaging me from the UK singles group, and I'm trying to find the post that was in there if I can find it. Oh, there it is. Right. Okay. This is really important, right? So, so basically, this guy was commenting. I can't remember. Oh, right. Yeah. So it was a post where, let's read his post first of all. So this guy is from Pakistan, right? Anyone want friendship? That's what he's asked for, right? And I put, great to meet you. I am hetero asexual, not heterosexual. So he's put my name and then put, nice to meet you too. Sorry to hear that. Right? Sorry to hear that I'm asexual. And I put, I'm in the UK, but don't want marriage or kids. I am happy I am a heteromantic asexual. I love it. I love love and romance and lots of kissing, just don't like sex. And got asexual guy best friends, just not found the right asexual guy for a life partner yet with a kiss. And I put, I love being asexual, best feeling in the world, pure love without sex. You know? Because I really think it is. Don't forget, I'm in a group full of sexuals in this particular group. And you might think, well, why am I trying a group full of sexuals? Because a lot of asexuals, if you didn't already know, are on traditional dating sites, which are predominantly for the highly heterosexual market. So where you might think, well, why are you going on these sexual sites? This is a Facebook group. I've not ever actually tried and stayed in a sexual group for you know, dating on Facebook. I applied to 2 groups. One chucked me out pretty much within an hour or so after I told them I was asexual, and this other group's kept me in there. But it's interesting for me to observe the behavior of some of the sexuals, and do you know what I mean? It's just like, in a way it feels kind of yucky, because it's like the women are so fake. They're just like, literally, they take pictures and they're all showing their body parts, and it's like, is that all you have to offer a guy? Is that all you can do? And these women have got like the big boobs, you know, like you see out of some sort of porn pictures, you know, with a little scantily clad bra on or something, you know. And so, and the guys in there, you know, they're not particularly good looking, half the guys, and the only ones that are foreign and they're abroad. But you know, that is because it's a sexual group, you know, it's not a sexual group. But you know, if people are who are asexual are on the sexual dating sites, traditional dating sites, why not have a go at a Facebook group? Because you can just remove yourself from the group if it gets too much. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, right. So it says, Sand, listen to this. Listen to his words, because at first you might think, oh, that's nice of him. And then when you get to the end bit, you'll realise, no, it's not so nice of him. So he's put, Sandra, I don't consider or categorise a person based on their sexuality. I just love them, admire them on their personality and quality they have. And yeah, agreed with you. I respect your choice. But we as a human deny human body need to. Don't forget he's foreign. So basically he's saying that he respects my choice. So he's basically saying I'm asexual because I'm choosing to be that way and not like sex. And that, you know, and that I'm denying the human body need to basically have sex, right? And then he's put, do you mind if I inbox you? And I'm thinking, here we go again. He'll just inbox me and say all the other rubbish stuff that, you know, that asexuals get from sexuals, such as, have you ever tried sex before? Do you masturbate? What do you think? You know, how long is it since you lads had sex? If you ever had sex, you're a virgin. Do you masturbate? How do you pleasure yourself? And all the other 55,000 questions we are asked in our inboxes, right? In situations like this. So it's like, you know, when you say, do you mind if I inbox you? I'm thinking, no, because we're just going to have the same conversation I've had for 55,000 times. I put in the group asexuality, and it's good for me to educate people in this group as well. So whoever goes on it will see it, you know. Asexuality is not a choice. It's a sexual orientation that is the lack of sexual attraction. It's part of who I am, and I am proud of it. Just like you are heterosexual, I am asexual. These are our sexual orientation, not a choice. We both have a choice to have sex or not. As you experience sexual attraction, you need sex, and I don't experience sexual attraction, so don't need sex. I'm very happy without it. It is not denying something I need because I don't need it or want it. There are thousands of asexuals around the globe. Just most of them are not vocal about it. Good luck in your search. And then I put, to the answer to the other question of can he inbox me, I put, I'm going out now and then have to get to work. You live miles away, so wish you good luck with 2 kisses. Oh, I understand now. Great, thanks. Have a good day. Oh, well, distance don't matter. Thanks, good luck to you. I've put, it does to me. I want an in-person relationship, not an internet one. And then he's put not even friendship. And some of these guys say they just want friendship, but a lot of them, they just want a contact in the UK. You've got to be so careful of that. Because a lot of these foreign guys, they're looking for visas and they're looking to get married, you know. But if you don't want to get married to them, the other thing is they make friends with people in the UK, some of them, because they want to come over and they think you can help them get into the country by signing documentation or giving them documents. Don't ever give documents to people, right? I will tell you a real life story now, which is not to do with asexuality, but it's still very important because it could still factor into your life in terms of dating, right? Although it's not from dating. So I've had this blogger friend. I've been friends with her for online till this year for 8 years. No, I've been blogging for nearly 8 years on my quirkybits.wordpress.com blog. And I think I've known her for 6 or 7 of those, right? She friended me on Facebook a while ago. She even gave me a copy of her book, which I still have. And then she was talking about coming over to the UK. And so you got to be, although this is not anything to do with dating, it's really important because this can happen when you're dating, right? And you know, and obviously if you don't want to date, but it's to do with friends. This is my friend. This person was my friend. So this is to do with a friendship thing, not a dating thing. But it can apply equally to dating or friends with people in other countries. Obviously, I still like foreign guys. I'm still interested, but I need one in the UK for obviously these reasons. Hi, Hamza. And so basically, yeah, I was friends with this blogger for like 6 or 7 years, female. And they were talking about coming over to this country, and I'm like, well, when are you coming? And then they started saying, well, I've got relatives in London. But that is what a lot of them say. They don't even have relatives in London, or if they do, they're not, why don't they contact them to get them in the country? So then this person started saying, oh, I'm buying you gifts. What gifts do you want? Right? When a foreign person starts asking you what gifts you want, telling you that they're giving you gifts, they expect you to do something back. It's a psychological thing called reciprocity. Hi, my life. Speak low. I'll speak how I want to speak. Thanks very much. It's my channel, and I speak I speak loudly. So hi, my life. Nice to see you. So yeah, so this friend, like I was saying, they're abroad. 6 or 7 years I've been friends with them online. This happened on Facebook. They were my Facebook friend, female, nothing to do with relationship. But yeah, so this, I think it was this year, they started talking about saying or end of last year, and it went through to this year, they started talking about the fact that they were interested in coming. They wanted to come over to the UK. They were coming over to the UK, and I kept saying, okay, when are you coming over to the UK? Sex is optional. A lot of people think sex is necessary in life. Exactly. I'm also going on to talk about because I was talking about what happened in this dating group, but I'm also going on to talk about something you've got to be very, very aware of when you go online about people saying friendship. So this particular guy explained what asexuality was, and that it's not a choice, but to have sex is a choice, right? And asexuality is a sexual orientation. There's a lack of sexual attraction, so I don't get the need for sex, because this guy said I was denying the human bodily need, which I don't have. But moving on since then, to give you a quick recap, is that I've said that this guy said, can we be friends? And there's another foreign guy that said we can be friends. But I'm saying, as much as I love foreign guys and would love to be in a relationship with one, I need one in the UK. And a lot of them in this particular group, which is not an asexual group, they are after visas. I had one the other day even say to me, you've got to get me in the country. I'm like, no, I haven't got to get you in the country. I blocked him, and this is what it's like. And there's a lot of fake people in there. There's a lot of people just after money and after they're desperate. Yeah. So you've got to bear in mind that if someone's not suitable for a relationship in this group or any group dating sites, when someone says, can I be friends? Asexuals are very friendly people. They like, in general, I would say they like to have a lot of friends. But you have to always ask yourself the question, why does someone want to be my friend? Do you know what I mean? Be very, very careful, because we're very giving people. I find we're very giving, loving people, and we like to have a lot of friends in general. I'm more picky with my friends, but I know a lot of asexuals, they like and need a lot of friends, right? And basically, you've got to be very careful, because someone from a foreign country, in this dating site, in particular, these dating groups like this, when they start saying about just want to be friends, a lot of it's for ulterior motive. Because I've told them I'm looking for a relationship. They're not suitable for a relationship. Why do I need them to be my friend? I don't. I've got enough friends. There's a lot that want into USA too, and I don't know. People want to move here. I feel ashamed to get USA then after all the negative things that are still going on a lot. Yeah. Yeah, USA is a second option to UK, and it's easier for foreigners to get into the USA than it is the UK. I know that, but I was talking about this blogging woman friend, because although it's not to do with relationship, it's to do with friendships. This is what can happen. So this woman I knew for 6 or 7 years through my quirkybooks.wordpress.com blog, which I've been doing for 8 years. And it's a writing blog, a book about writing and being quirky, a book about my writing journey and my books and about being quirky. So to cut a long story short, last year going into this year, she kept saying she was going to come over. And so I was thinking, if you're serious, then I'm going to ask you for a date. When are you coming over? So I know people that are not really serious. They're just messing you around. Can't really give you a date. And it's all like, and then they put the emphasis on you. Oh, I'm coming then. Oh, but I'm not now. A friend that tries saying asexuality is a choice. No, my life. No, this wasn't a threat. No. You're confusing it because you haven't watched the rest of the video, honey. But basically, I'm talking about two separate things. I'm relating them. So I said that I was in this dating group, UK singles, on Facebook, right? And there was this foreign guy in there that was talking about from Pakistan, that was talking, and in that conversation he was saying, I admire your choice about being, because I said hi to him in the dating group, and I said, hi, I'm looking for a relationship, but I'm asexual, not heterosexual, and I live in the UK, right? That's what I said to him. And then he said, and I explained what it was, and then he said, I admire your choice. So he was saying that's a choice, and I said, no, I said asexuality, like I'm asexual, you're heterosexual, there are sexual orientations. That's not a choice. What our choice is whether we have sex or not. And I explained that to him. But after this, he asked me to be friends with him. And there's another foreign guy who I told him asexual asked me to be friends with him. And this is the stage I've got to now of explaining why basically don't be friends usually. I'm not saying never, but I'm saying if you are going to consider staying friends with someone and think, yeah, it's harmless, I'll stay friends with them. It's not harmless, because it can be very harmful, because down the line, it can head into a position where I was with this woman friend online who's got nothing to do with dating, but who I've been friends with for 6 or 7 years, an older woman who I would never have thought to be a bad person, right? And this is what happened. And she said she was coming over to the UK. She was saying it last year. She was giving me days, and then she kept changing the days and dates. And she said she got short relatives in London, right? Then I haven't told you the main last bit is that she started asking me, she started saying she was going to get gifts for me. And I was trying to say that there's a psychology technique called reciprocity, which is you reciprocate what people give you. So if someone's buying you gifts or saying they're going to buy you gifts, doesn't mean to say they're actually going to do it, and asking you what you need, that basically means that they're saying that. They could be saying it innocently, so you just go along with it. If you want a gift, you just say, yeah, this is what I want, with nothing in your mind that you're going to give back to them, right? If someone can't offer you something without expecting something back, it's not really a gift, is it? So I just said, yeah, you can get me this, that, and the other. You know, she'd say, oh, do you like bags? Do you like this? I said, oh, this is what I like. This is what I like, right? And I didn't really think it would ever happen, but I thought I'll just play along with it. Oh, thanks for the thumbs up. Love you. Makes a huge difference. And so I thought, yeah, so I'll say it. And then, you know, she'd done all this stuff about what, you know, like, oh, I'm going to buy you gifts, blah, blah, blah. And I'll be coming over here, and I've got relatives over in London, right? Then she started turning around to me and saying, oh, I'm finding it hard because I need this paperwork. And then she asked me, can you send your bank account statements over to me, please, to help me get in the country, to help me get a visa? Because getting a visa is not easy like I thought it was going to be. In order to get a visa to come over there to in the country to visit, then I need some paperwork from someone in the UK. Can you send me your bank statements? Exactly. Oh my God, right? This woman is an older woman. You know, she's someone who you would look up to as a mother type figure. She's not a kid. She's not some teenager online messing around or anything like that. She's an adult grown woman who I think, you know, seems a lot older. She tried to con you, yeah, but she didn't get anywhere. But I can't believe that a woman, she blocked me in the end because I said no. She blocked me. And I thought, I've been friends with you online for 6 or 7 years. I used to comment on your blog posts. You used to comment on mine about the poetry. We've all got all that blogging history together. Yet you're a woman who tried to con me. That is crazy. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, because I've actually got, I mean, I don't want to say who it is because that's not fair on them. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I can, I don't even think I can show you a bit there. I don't know if I can't really show you the book. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be fair. I don't think you can, I can't really show it you, but it's like, that's all you're seeing of the book, right? That's it. I can't show you anymore, but it's just to prove that it is a book that she sent me. She sent it direct from the publishers, you know, and I've even done a post about it once a very long time ago, actually, not on this channel though. But yeah, I can't believe it. I'm like, do you know what I mean? I said to her, if you've got relatives in London, they can get you the paperwork you need, you know? Just block me just like that. I'm glad she blocked me because I don't want to be friends with someone like that who's just after me to get, I mean, why on earth would anyone give their bank account statements over to someone on the internet? I mean, that's ridiculous. And I know, because I do like foreign guys and I know the different ways you can get into the country, one of the things they want you to do is they want you to write a letter as if you're their girlfriend or their boyfriend, and get them into the country that way, and write a letter saying I invite you. They need an invitation to get into the country in some countries. So, but actually asking for my bank account statements, I mean, jeez, I've been through that, but face to face. It's just ridiculous, my life. Why would I give my bank statements over to some person I didn't know? And I'm surprised she even is comfortable with that. Do you know what I mean? I mean, what the heck? So that's what I'm trying to tell you. If you go in on dating sites that are not asexual in particular, but I mean, it can. I've had problems even with some so-called people that call themselves asexual, but I doubt really were. I once had this guy in my asexual dating group, no sex dating group, friends that manipulate you for their own good and your downfall. Yeah, they're not real friends, are they? But there was this one guy who was in my asexual no sex dating group on Facebook. This is a long time ago, and I had a complaint about him, but he wasn't like that with me. And so I kind of parked it in my mind that if he steps out of line again, I'd kick him out of the group. And I was concerned, obviously, because I really listen to people. And she said he's saying this, but he said something similar to me, but not exactly the same. So the time went on, and then he started private messaging me, asking me for money. And I'm like, no. And then he started being nasty to me. Going, oh, call yourself a writer. You can't even do a text. I just whipped him out of my group, blocked him. I thought, you a-hole. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think he was really asexual either, because the person, he's dumb to try to con you. Well, yeah, exactly. Exactly, but he was trying to use emotional manipulation, so you got to be so careful, because what he did was put me down. He took my thing that I'm really good at, writing. I'm not saying I'm the best writer. I'm not saying I never make typos or spelling mistakes. I mean, in conversation with friends, I'm always doing typos. But, you know, I know I'm good at writing. I know people buy my books. I know I've got a gift with the words. And he was just trying to take my passion, what I'm good at, and try and twist it, manipulate it, and put me down about it. And it didn't work, because that's what they do. People who are really manipulative, they try to make you feel bad about yourself to get something out of you. Don't fall for that game either. Like your exes. Yeah, I'm glad you're out of those relationships, my life. They're no good for you. I'm glad you've got a nice, decent guy now. You know, these people are ridiculous. You don't need to be friends with them. It's ridiculous, you know. I just can, it's hard for me to trust most new friends because I'm cautious. I'm the same, really, a lot of the time, I have to say. It's harder for me to trust women than it is men, usually. In relationships, it's hard for me to trust guys, right? In general, you know, like actually being in a relationship with a guy, I don't really trust. There's only one real guy I've totally 100% trust in my life, and that's my best friend, who's just my friend, Sam. I totally 100% trust them because they have the same boundaries with friendships and relationships as me. They're homo-romantic. They have a boyfriend. You know, I'm the wrong gender, but they are nudity repulsed like me, which is amazing, because hardly anyone I know in the asexual community actually hates nudity, like doesn't even want to dress in front of each other, undress. Only 2 people fully conned me and almost came close to me not finding out about it. Oh my gosh, it's horrible. Yeah, you have to be really cautious in life. There are a lot of manipulators. I know more because I've been through manipulated relationships, and I know more how to spot it. But I don't know if you're anything like me, because it makes you, if you have it over a long period of time, you can sometimes get wise to it, and you can see things about other people that no one else can see. I don't know if you're like that in my life at all. I don't know if you've got to the stage where you've got that intuition now, and you've got that what is it called, sort of the little signs to know when people are manipulating you. It's not obvious. It's like I've had guys on ASAP messaging me, and I've known within a few messages they are manipulators, and I've just blocked them or ended the conversation with them, because I've known. And other people would think they're nice because they can't read the signs of the subtle manipulation that's going on. But I'm very attuned to it now. I'm a lot more wise than I used to be, and I'm a lot more trusting. Well, I trust myself, you know, because I know I'm right. I've got a lot of experience. I know how to con, but I only use it in situation. I didn't mean you know how to con. I meant the opposite. I know how to con, but I only use it in situations that get in the way of my life. X, I con my mum and people at church to hide the real me because I'll never be accepted by them and I can't be free yet. But how do you know you'll never be accepted by them? Uh, I know you said to me about the situation though, so I do get you feel unsafe in that way, that you don't want them to take your freedom off you. But you know what I mean? It's not good that you have to hide the real you. I hope you can get out of the situation soon because they're anti-LGBT plus and Syrian otherkin. Yeah, but maybe they changed their mind once they know about you. Maybe they must know there's something different about you. It must be obvious to a certain extent, or do they just ignore it? Because I mean, most parents can sense something about their child, can't they? That's different. No, they're strict. Okay. Well, I hope you can, I hope that when you leave all that behind, then you can just be free to be you, because it's really hard when you're in that situation. I do feel for you. You know what I mean? I know not everyone's as kind as other people. I think everyone should just say what they truly are. But I know if you're living at home with your parents, it's a little bit different because they have a great control and say in your life. Whereas if you've moved out of home, I think everyone should just be themselves once they move out of home, really, unless they're in a dangerous situation, obviously. Because sometimes if you get in a relationship with someone who's abusive, you need to get out of it. And then, because if it's the point where you could be hit or something for your sexuality, then you leave it. Do you know what I mean? But it is very tricky for you. I do get it, because you need contact with the outside world and stuff. So, but yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't con anyone in life. Yeah, but I don't know if con's the right word for you to use, but yeah, I know what you mean. But I understand what you mean. You can't reveal yourself, but con's more like, do you know what I mean? It's like not a good pattern to get into, really, of behaviour. By the way, found out my boyfriend was planning to kiss me at graduation day. Ah! I said he could still go through with his plan, and he said he will. I have to forget, so it's a surprise. When is graduation day? Is it like months away? Oh, bless him. That's so sweet. That's really, really sweet. When's your graduation day? Is it months away? 2020 June. You're gonna wait a whole year to kiss. I'd never last that long, me. Jeez. Oh my god. I know it's not quite a year. It's like what, 10 months? June, July, August, September. I'm a cheesy romantic. Oh my gosh. How are you gonna live that long without having a kiss? Oh, I couldn't do it. It'd be torture for me. I couldn't do it. I mean, if they were just my friend, you have things planned too. Why are you going to take life into your own hands? Oh, right, okay. Well, whatever works out really well. I think it's really sweet, though. Obviously, they must really care about you. Obviously, very, very trustworthy and not bothered about the no sex bit. Do you know what I mean? That's really, really sweet. I couldn't last. Jeez, I can't last without kissing in a relationship. I'm like, oh man, a few days without it's bad enough. I have something special for our first year anniversary of dating. Oh wow! I want to know what it is now, but I don't think you can say because it's a secret, isn't it? But oh, that sounds so sweet. Are you dating then, or in a relationship? You're in a relationship, aren't you? Or are you dating? Like two different things. That. And I'm making him a song. I'll sing to him. Oh, you two are so sweet. That's really nice. That's wonderful. And it's a very, very good sign that they are thinking about next year with you already. So you're in their future plans. One of the red flags of he called me sweet. Oh, one of the one of the red flags to watch out for a relationship is if the guy you're with, or woman, or wherever it is, but usually it's a guy thing, traditionally, if the guy's not making any plans for you in the future together, they're usually no good because they can't see you in their future. The fact he's actually making plans already for next year is amazing because he sees you as being together for long term, which is great. So it's really, really sweet. He plans ahead like me and had no idea. Oh, that's really, really sweet. So he's thinking about you a lot. This is all good news. This is so sweet. I think I'll be one of the last people to ever get in a relationship in my whole asexual community. It's really funny. I talk about relationships and dating more than anyone else, I think. And I'm probably the last one to get into a relationship, I think, because my best friend, not my best friend, but one of my best friends, one of my really good friends, should I say, they just got married to their fiance on the 31st of August. So they're a married asexual couple now, romantic. As far as I know, they don't have sex. It's a sexless, loving, caring relationship. They are so awesome together. So they've just got married last month. And then one of my friends in my city, they are older asexual, likes younger women, girls, and so he's 58 and she's 22. They're in a relationship together, both asexual, and they're both lovely together. I mean, his girlfriend is so beautiful. Oh yeah, his girlfriend is so beautiful. Yeah, I like younger guys, but there's less of an age gap between me and a younger guy because obviously this guy's much older than me. You know, he's 58 and she's 22, but he does look younger than 58, to be fair to him. But you know, that's true asexual love, you know, and his girlfriend's absolutely stunningly beautiful. You know, she's smiling the whole time she's with him. So that's how I know he makes her really, really happy. Do you know what I mean? So it's really, really good. And he's so happy with her. So he's always messaging her constantly, going, oh, my, because she's called Sophie. So he's always going, oh, my Sophie. And it's so beautiful. And it shows me pictures of them together. Oh, it's just amazing. I absolutely love it when people are in love and together in relationships and really happy. I couldn't be more happier for them. And then another friend of mine that comes to my meetups, they are in a long distance relationship with a girl. So they are homo romantic. And well, they were biromantic. I'm not sure if they're still biromantic or if they're actual homo romantic, but they're definitely at least biromantic. They weren't sure of their orientation. Me and my boyfriend's 1 month anniversary is coming up. Oh, what have you got planned for the 1 month anniversary? I'm allowed to know. Wow, that's incredible. And yeah, so it's all good. All these relationships are really good. I'm so happy for you. I love to see asexuals in relationships. You made gifts. Oh, you two are so cute. Seriously, you make my heart melt, you two do. They're so cute together. Oh, wow. You know, I'm hyper romantic. All this stuff just makes me want to be more romantic. It's really funny because I went on a dating what was it, a dating coach's video, and it was on about how to keep a guy, and that's by getting him to release oxytocin, which he was talking about through sex most of the time. And but he was saying about romance as well, that loved up feeling, the oxytocin. And he was going on about, oh, you know, like that's why, you know, you should actually look for a relationship where you don't just get that high all the time, where it's stable, more of a stable friendship rather than just dopamine hits and adrenaline. Because I finally did origami and I did some cool DIY things I thought up, and 2 drawings. Congratulations. Oh, you go and make gifts and a card. Oh, that's lovely. That's really sweet. I've forgotten what I was saying now, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was talking about this dating coach. It's really funny. So he was on about you know, like it was on about like a hormone being released, and that's what, you know, like keeps a guy with you type thing. This is a sexual coach, dating coach, heterosexual dating coach. And it was so funny because he was all about these hormones that get them going. I said, oh, well, I'm like that with myself. I'm like that with myself 24/7, 365 days a year, romantic. So I don't think any guy can match my needs. And I really don't. I think that's the part of the problem, because I'm so romantic. But I will find a real romantic guy for me, but just not yet, because I think I've got to sort my career out first. But yeah, I just thought it's hilarious. I'm like, I get that from myself. I don't even know if there's a comment still on there, because it was on a YouTube video I commented, but I just thought it was Oxytocin, that's right. And I just thought it was so funny. I can't remember, what was I saying? I thought it was so funny. It was a YouTube comment I did. Where's YouTube? If I can find, this is my new phone, so I'm still getting used to it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm still getting used to all the apps. Where's all the apps? It's easier to find it on my iPad, to be honest. But oh yeah, YouTube, here it goes. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I thought it was just so hilarious. Someone liked it as well. Here it is. Oh yeah, this is really funny. This is my comment. I get a lot of oxytocin from myself daily. I feel loved up with myself and life 24/7. And I don't think I need any, I don't think any guy can compete with that and meet my needs. But it's true, it's so true. I'm like, how is any guy ever going to live up to my romantic expectation and standards when I'm like that with myself 24/7, 365 days a year? I mean, isn't it going to be just impossible for the guy? But it's like, well, why should I accept anything less than what I'm used to? Why should I, when it makes me feel so darn good all the time? When my friend says love is just a chemical, and I'm like, haha, not to me. Yes, apparently in scientific terms it is. So my biology teacher at school, this is turn around and says love is a collection of chemicals, and that when you fall out of love, it's because the chemicals have changed. And I've always remembered that. But yeah, theoretically it might be fine, but that's not how it feels, is it? When you love someone, it's far more than that. That means every emotion is a chemical. Yeah, that means every emotion is a chemical. And it's also to do with energy. But energies comes from chemicals as well. But yes, basically, emotions are chemicals. Because all our cells are made up of chemicals. They're all made up of chemicals, aren't they? Atoms, molecules, which are chemicals, really. Do you know what I mean? They're all made up of, yeah, we're a bundle of chemicals, atoms, molecules, which is to do with the energy. There's a lot of stuff in personal professional work about energy, that everything's basically energy. It's all to do with energy and how you shift your energy, move your energy. And there are people who've got sexual energy. I can feel actually guys that have got sexual energy from them. Like I can, I don't experience it sending it out, but I can feel it from them. But yeah, it's a bit sad when you think of it like that, That's why farts are flammable. I love you, Heather. Oh, I love Heather. She's so funny. That's why farts are flammable. Have you tried to set I can't even speak. Have you tried to set fire to a fart, Heather? I'm very interested in that. In my opinion, your spirit can fall in love and it wouldn't be a chemical because it's your spirit. But is a spirit a chemical? Because it's still made of atoms and molecules, is it not? Or is it not? But I think love's far more than just a chemical. I mean, we all know how it makes us feel. And spirit is energy. Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about, energy. But isn't energy a chemical reaction? Isn't energy to do with molecules still? Because I mean, when we've got stuff around us, like I'm touching molecules now, all in the air. They're all around us, but we can't see them. So all these are chemicals around us. When I breathe, when I'm sat in a room with some other person and they breathe out, I'm breathing in their molecules. I'm breathing in there. Do you know what I mean? That's why it's horrible being next to a smoker if you don't smoke. It's highly complicating. Yeah, I think best just to think love is amazing. And like you say, spiritual. I mean, to me, love's very, very deep. And I do experience spiritual love, but you're meant to, like, when you leave this planet, your body's here and then you go up in spirit. But what is a spirit? To me, it's not just some chemical. Well, I'm hyper romantic, aren't I? So I don't think of it just as a chemical, but that's apparently what it is. But I'm more than science. Do you know what I mean? I think science is great, but if it was just a chemical, everyone would be sexual. No, because we might have different chemicals, different chemical makeup to them. Do you know what I mean? Our minds are different. I know that. Asexual minds are different to sexual minds. our brain works differently. I know that much, even though I'm not scientific. It was just a chemical everyone, yeah. Because different chemicals work differently. So asexuals can be made up of different chemicals to sexuals, and that's how we asexual. And they're not, because obviously, like I said, if you think of my theory about when they are, I think people are born asexual, then when it gets to like puberty, they get all these hormones, which are chemicals coming in, and that's how they change to be sexual. That's what I think anyway. So I think it's the chemical reactions that change them in their body, and we stay the same. I don't know. I'm not a scientific person, really. I'm more of a spiritual person like you. Do you know what I mean? But apparently there's a lot of science in spirituality these days. Energy is to do with science, apparently, as far as I know and understand. But I just love love, Love is amazing. I don't fall out of love very easily. Like some people, oh, you like science. Some people, they love like people and they just fall in and out of love the whole time. But I tend to have I can have feelings for multiple people at once, multiple guys at once, not women, which is really annoying sometimes, but I've got that under control mostly. But I can have feelings for a guy and they don't really go away. Like I could not speak to him for years, and then when I see him, I can still feel romance for him if he comes back into my life, which is just crazy. Do you know what I mean? It's like, why would you have that? I don't know why that happens to me, but it does. So is that a chemical reaction or what? I have no idea, but that's what happens. Well, I presume it is, but that's what happens with some guys. They go out of my life and I don't hear from them for ages, and some, not all of them, some of them will come back and then I have exactly the same feelings as I did before we stopped contact. It's just really bizarre. And it annoys me sometimes, but it is what it is. You can't be too annoyed by yourself, because if you get annoyed by yourself, don't love yourself, do you? You've got to accept everything about yourself. So, yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of science behind law of attraction now, isn't there? And around spirituality, there's quite a lot of science to do, because it's to do with energy. And scientists talk about where energy flows and different energy things. I have an issue. I bury painful emotions, which sometimes stops me from feeling love emotions unless triggered by something sweet, like a phrase or action or physical contact. I know I love the person, but I don't always physically feel it. You bury painful emotions, which sometimes stop me from feeling love emotions unless triggered by something sweet, like a phrase or action or physical contact. I don't always physically feel it. That's why I think love isn't just a chemical. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, if you bury painful emotions, you need to deal with them before they get out of hand later on in your life. As adults, we have to deal with, I know you're younger than me, but as adults, we have to deal with issues from our past all the time. And when we're burying painful emotions, it's not actually healthy for us. They always come back later and bite you in the bum, if you know what I mean. Well, I love love, don't I, in my life? So I don't personally like referring to love as just a chemical, because, do you know what I mean? That's a very scientific biology way of putting it. And if it was just a chemical, I wouldn't feel a connection to them, but I still do, even if I don't have a physical response of any kind. I feel connected to guys on the internet, sadly. There's loads of people that do, but it's an emotional connection. Like, people get emotionally connected. That's why on the internet, people can fall in love just through messaging, because they get the deep emotional intimacy through messaging. It's really strange. Yeah, it's emotional connection. I can be emotionally connected to someone. I can be spiritually connected to them as well. But I experience so many different types of attraction, but not sexual and not platonic. So I experience creative attraction, close attraction, spiritual attraction, intelligence attraction, romantic attraction, emotional attraction, aesthetic attraction, and love, baby. I experience all those different types of attractions, and sometimes, particularly in the past, I've got all except sexual. I don't have sexual, but I also don't have platonic. which is why I get romantic feelings or some sort of attraction for most of my guy friends I'm really close to. I can't separate being really close to a guy emotionally from some sort of attraction. Usually they always go together for me because I don't experience platonic attraction, so it jumps it just jumps. The way I am just jumps. My feelings jump from just met you to, oh, I find you aesthetically attractive, I find you romantic attractive. Do you know what I mean? It's pretty much straight away most of the time. It's annoying, but I've got to learn to accept it. But if I accept it about myself, it's better, because if you try and push against something that's truly who you are, then you find that you just end up being more like that. So it's better to just accept it about myself, and then it becomes less strenuous and it doesn't become such a big deal, you know? At the moment, I do still have some romantic attraction for someone, a little bit, but in general, I don't love anyone. In friendship love I do, but not romantic wise. I don't love anyone, I would say. Someone thought sexual, romantic and sexual attraction or pleasure all the same, and I was like, no. Yeah, heterosexuals think that usually. Sexuals, they think it's all in one. They all think it's in one. That's how the world, society brings you up. I never knew all these different types of attractions until I found out I was asexual. That's why asexuality is a gift. It really is a gift. Anyone who's asexual is got a gift inside them. They can see all these different types of attractions and split them all off. The greater world can't do that. They haven't got a blooming clue. They're absolutely clueless. The majority of the world, which is heterosexual still, they're absolutely clueless about all the different types of attraction, which I think is why we're the informers on real love. Exactly. You are so true. That's why we're here on this planet Earth, because we can teach something that they don't know. They don't understand. It's not, I mean, I've been in the heterosexual world for half my life. We educate, exactly. And the heterosexual world is really weird. Like, I never knew all these types of attractions. I think that's why there's so many problems in relationships as well, because they mix all these type of attractions up, you know? Like, I want to be with a guy who pretty much has all of my attractions, or nearly all of them, which is about 7 or 8 of them. I want them to tick pretty much all those boxes as much as possible, you know? And usually it's the only people guys that really do that are Indian guys. They tick all my boxes usually. Do you know what I mean? That's why I know I'm attracted to Indian guy the most. They just tick everything usually. The intelligence attraction, the creative attraction, the spiritual attraction, I think they're really intelligent, a lot of them. Really intelligent. Very aesthetically attractive, romantic attraction, you know. Things being sexual doesn't make sense. People over-sexualize things, including you're for kids. It's pathetic. Some people don't know what love is, what a healthy relationship is. I know, exactly. I agree with you, Heather. Things being sexual doesn't make sense. People over-sexualize things, including for kids. Pathetic. Toys. Yeah, I don't know why they do that. They over-sexualize loads of stuff. It's like, it's really weird being in this dating group that I'm in on Facebook that's got sexuals in it. And I just look at them and sometimes I just start laughing, to be honest, and other times I feel sick. So it's like, I'm thinking, seriously, is this all you do with your life? Just post pictures of you and your boobs and your private bits and say, hi, boys, come and get me. I don't get it. I think it just must be an ego thing a lot of the time, because, you know, that's not the real world, really. I mean, it's this superficial real world, but not the real world, you know? Like Heather says, I agree. They don't know what a healthy relationship looks like. It's like sex, money, and fame is their god. I know. It's like really weird. And it was very, very upsetting for this woman today, because she posted in one of my groups on Facebook that, you know, she's fed up with you know, the everyone being interested in sex, because 3 people who she had made plans around or with, they all bailed on her to go and have sex. And she felt, you know, like she couldn't believe why sex is such a big deal. And I still don't get it, because when I was with my heterosexual exes, I would never cancel plans for sex, and they'd never cancel plans for sex, even though they were heterosexual. Do you know what I mean? It's not every sexual's the same, but I don't understand why sex is so important. I mean, I get it for the emotional connection. I mean, asexuals tend to get emotional connection from it, I think. But I mean, I don't get emotional connection through sex as such. I felt closer to my ex when I was doing that in the physical sense. Everyone is singing about sexual stuff, and it's like, seriously? I know, I agree with you. It's really, really, like pathetic, to be quite honest with you. I'm going to pour myself some water, I think. Oh, there it is. Sorry. I pour myself some water on a live stream. They're looking for perfect sex partner, which is so sad for people that just want love. Most people have sex for pleasure, not connection. Yeah, it's interesting, my life, because obviously I've got a book coming out, which is all about Asexual Guide to Sex. So you'll find the real truth about what it's really like for asexuals to be in a relationship with sexuals and what asexuals get out of it, if you know what I mean. And there's also one person's story that explains what it's like for sexuals, which is very, very interesting. They give their point of view of how it is really good. Their story's amazing. It's Adam's, actually. I think Adams is just amazing. That's a guy I Skyped for over 5 hours to get his personal story. It's amazing. He's very, very good. He gives very good insight into what having sex feels like for him as an asexual, and he takes a point of view of the person he was in a relationship with as well. It's very, very interesting. It's an amazing book. Most people have sex. Yeah. A lot of people do have sex for pleasure, not connection. They have it because of the chemicals, again, the hormones. That's what they have it for. I mean, the only reason I can relate to it a little bit is because I get those release of hormone chemicals through kissing. And I really need kissing in a relationship. I couldn't be without kissing. And I think that sexuals get the dopamine, the oxytocin, all the rest of that stuff through sex, whereas I get it through kissing. If you have health problems, they say you can't find real love. Heather, that's so true. It's sad though, because they can find real love, because there's YouTube videos about it. But I agree with you, Heather, that, and there's a lot of people with obviously I have fibromyalgia, as you know, but I'm in groups of people with fibromyalgia, and their partners, even though they're married, will give up on them and walk out because they can't have sex anymore. Because a lot of people with fibro, they can't have sex anymore. It's too painful in that area. It hurts too much. It's like torture for them. So, and they don't want to put their body through more pain when they're already in pain all the time. So literally, that you see them in the group, and their partners, like a husband, sometimes been married for years, and they just walk out. They leave them because they can't have sex anymore. Do you know what I mean? And it's just very upsetting. And that's why my book, Fibromyalgia Self-Help Handbook, talks about asexuality in it. It talks about sexuality and having sex and the best way to go about it if you're a fibro person. But it also talks about asexuality, saying that, just to let you know, there is this sexual orientation called asexuality. It's a lack of sexual attraction, which means basically we don't get the need, urge, or want for partner sexual intercourse. So an asexual person might be suitable for a relationship with you because they don't need sex. And if you can't have sex anymore, but you want someone to love you in a relationship, there are asexuals around. So that's what it's saying. So, it lets all those people know with fibro that there are asexual people out there that might be able to have a relationship. I'm like, tell the truth. Can't have sex. It's not the fact you don't have sex because you're asexual. It's the fact you don't have sex because you've got a disability, because the mindset's completely different. If selfish, yes, Heather. If someone truly loves someone, they won't care about sex, and sex won't be the glue in the relationship. Asexually, I agree with that. Sexuals wouldn't all agree with that. Because sexuals sometimes need sex as part of the relationship. It's a desire and need of theirs. I mean, I in theory, I agree with you. If someone truly loves someone, they won't care about sex, and sex won't be the glue in the relationship. But I do know, if someone says, I don't want sex anymore, people automatically assume their partner is cheating. Yeah, but I mean, in the case of people with fibro, which is a disability for life, right, which is too painful, they know that their partner's in too much pain to be going and cheating, but they leave because they can't live without the sex. It's that important to them. So for some sexuals, it is the glue in the relationship, or it's an essential part of it that they cannot be without. Sex addiction. Yeah. But I can't, if sex is really important to sexuals, it's important to them. What I think is sad is when they've been married for that many years that they can't work something else out. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's just horrible that they would walk out and leave them after all that time. Do you know what I mean? But it happens, you know. I know I couldn't be in a relationship without kissing. You know, so I do understand sexual point of view that if they need sex in a relationship, I get it. But ideally, a sexual person shouldn't be with someone who doesn't want sex. But if you've been married and things change because things do, and it could happen to anyone in the relationship. I mean, the sexual person, they could get a disability. They could be an accident and they're not able to have sex anymore. And the person that's got the health condition might still be able to have it. So I understand some things, but other things, it's just, I can't. Yeah. I mean, I think it's dreadful when they leave someone. I mean, I know a guy who's married, and when he first got married, he didn't know his wife was asexual because she used to have sex quite a bit, and then she stopped having it, and she's asexual. But he never cheats on her, and he just goes without sex. But he's going to be like that for the rest of his life. But it does upset him. Probably because of my morals. Well, yeah, I agree with you, Milo. I think it's really sad they do that. I think it's very, 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 very sad. You know? I mean, you know, like, I do think everyone you know, like, not everyone. I do think most romantic people need some sort of physical affection in a relationship. But I think you can live without sex. I mean, but obviously some sexuals don't think that way. But, you know, but yeah, I mean, I can't be without kissing because it wouldn't feel right to me. I can't be without I need kissing in a relationship. It's so important to me. It's a deal breaker. Do you know what I mean? It's one of my things I really enjoy so much with a partner. I wouldn't feel right. I would feel like I was just someone's friend if I didn't kiss them. That's not, you know, that's my personal opinion. It's not most asexuals. Most asexuals can live very happily without kissing. The other day I saw a young guy with a shirt, Virginity Rocks. Oh, wow, Heather, that's amazing. Oh, that's really good. Oh, I probably like that guy. Young guy. Oh, bless him. Oh, that's really good. I've not seen a shirt like that before. Wow, that's incredible. Thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. I do agree, my life as well. It's morally, it's ridiculous. What about those that aren't virgin? What do you mean, what about those that aren't? I'm not a virgin, but I still think virginity rocks. I think it's great. I did a video once, one of my first videos ever on this channel for my other channel, actually, which is virginity is awesome. And I still say that to this day. Virginity is awesome. I don't have my, you know, I lost my virginity when I was 16 years old. But I've had it. As in people that don't idealize sex, but I've had it. Well, I don't idealize sex, but I've had it. I'm not a virgin. I'm asexual, but I had sex in the past because I thought I had to as part of a relationship. A normal relationship. Do you know what I mean? I didn't know I was asexual. And I don't idolize sex at all. And I'm not a virgin, but I still think virginity rocks. I agree. Do you know what I mean? I support people who are virgins, even though I'm not one. I'm not technically a virgin, but I consider myself as a virgin. Yeah. Well, I'm not a virgin. I lost my virginity when I was 16 years old. It wasn't under great circumstances, but it happened. It's honest. You know what I mean? There's no point in lying about it. And I've had sex with 5 guys in relationships. Never had sex outside a relationship. I support virgins too, but I don't put them over non-virgins. I don't put them over non-virgins, but that's not what the shirt's about, is it? It's virginity rocks. So it's like me wearing an asexual t-shirt saying asexual. I'm asexual, not asexual. I'm putting asexuality, you could argue, before sexuality. I'm promoting asexual over being heterosexual, for example. Do you know what I mean? You know, anyone can see it like that, but that's not it. He's just living his truth, isn't he? Virginity rocks. He's just in his zone, isn't he? That guy's not putting it above. He's just saying it rocks because he obviously loves being a virgin. One is choice, another isn't. Yeah, and some choice is amazing. Being a virgin is incredible. It's absolutely wonderful. Even though I'm not a virgin, I think it's great if someone's kept that for themselves. That's very, very brave of them. That's to be applauded. It's very, very brave of them to keep that for themselves and to not, just have sex for the sake of it for society. There's no way does that t-shirt say that the guy puts them over non-virgins, does it? They're just enjoying the fact that they're a virgin and thinks it's amazing and promoting that. And I think it's really good. It's a good message to send to people. The virginity is, like I said in my previous videos, virginity is awesome. I think anyone who keeps their virginity for themselves, who never has sex, is amazing. It's amazing. I was coerced into it. I was pressurized into losing my virginity. And I shouldn't have done it. But I did because I wanted love at the time. And I thought that's the only way I could get it and keep my boyfriend at the time, which was very naive, but it's what you do when certain things have happened in your life. I come from a place of self-love now, but I didn't back then. But do you know what I mean? I think it's really good if young people especially are keeping their virginity and not letting peer pressure and pressure from their partners, boyfriends, or people in life push them into having sex when they don't want to. And they've decided to stay a virgin. I think it's great. That person might not remain a virgin. They might just be virginity rocks right now. Do you know what I mean? And, I promote asexuality, don't I? I've got t-shirts that say I'm asexual, not a sexual. You know what I mean? And asexuality is I'm asexy and all that lot. But you know what I mean? People like different things. It's just like someone liking Care Bears. And they're like, oh, I love Care Bears. That's what type of thing it is. Or I don't know, like I love horror movies. I hate horror movies, by the way, but a lot of asexuals like horror movies. Someone putting on a t-shirt, I like horror movies. It's what is the love, what they love in life. One of my friends said you choose today if you're virgin or not, even if you've had sex or some kind in the end. It's up to you if you're not. Well, that's not actually true. Physically, if you've had penetrative sex, you're not a virgin. There's no two ways about it. Do you know what I mean? If you want to pretend you haven't had it, that's up to you, but it's not living in the real world. Example, if it was a mistake, if it was rape, if it was accidental. But it's still, I mean, if I know that some people who've been raped before, they don't class themselves as losing their virginity because they didn't give it to the person, it was took from them. So that's why some people don't consider themselves to have lost their virginity, because if they were raped, then obviously they didn't give that to someone. Physically, obviously, they have had, stuff gone on, but in their mind, they prefer to think of themselves as not having lost their virginity because it wasn't something that they actually gave willingly. So, yeah. I think mistaken accidental. I mean, I choose to have sex, but see it as a mistake and don't see myself as not being virgin, but I'm technically not a virgin. Yeah, but you chose to have it. So you did it, even if you didn't like it or it was no good. You still chose that. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just what happened. You can't take it back. It's done. You lost it. It's just gone. But that's it. Like I was 16 years old and my boyfriend at the time said all his friends were doing it, that he was like 2 or 3 years older than me. All his friends were doing it. And so I felt pressured into doing that, because if I didn't, I would lose him. So I did that, and I could go around saying, well, that was a mistake. But I don't think that way. I just think, well, it happened. I did it. It was consensual, and so it happened. But when I find the right guy for me, then obviously it can feel like you're losing your virginity. Well, I mean, I don't want sex, do I? So that doesn't apply. But if I was having sex again, which I'm not, then obviously you could argue in your head, you could think in your head, I feel like I've lost my virginity, because in the sense of theoretical that I love this person truly, deeply, madly, and so I'm okay about doing that. But you know, technically, like you say, still not a virgin because you've had penetrative sex. I mean, the only time I've heard people say that, if you knew my whole story, you'd know why I consider myself a virgin. Yeah, I mean, it's up to you, but the truth is, I always believe in telling the truth, which is what you've told. You've still told the truth because you still said technically you're technically not a virgin. You said. Well, it depends if you've had penetrative sexual intercourse, doesn't it? Because that's what losing your virginity is. Vaginal sexual intercourse, not oral sex, not anal sex. Because in order to lose your virginity, I don't know if you know, but the woman has a flap of skin that's pierced when you lose your virginity. That's what really happens, but no one talks about it usually on channels. To most, I'm not to be, I am. I think you just be happy with who you are in my life. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I think you just have to be happy with who you are, but I think you have to be honest in any relationships, like with your boyfriend, you have to tell him the truth. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't keep stuff from him at all. Don't keep stuff from people like that close to you in a relationship. The good guys, obviously, if you end up being with a bad guy, yeah, exactly. But like I lost my virginity because I was pressured into it, but I still lost it. I still chose to do it. Do you know what I mean? So I don't deny that, or but I can understand some people. I have had some people that I know, not just women. I've had guys that I know who've had sexual abuse, and someone's had sex with them against their will, and so they feel like they've not lost their virginity because they didn't give it willingly. Someone just forced themselves on them as an act. Do you know what I mean? And I can understand why they think they've not lost their virginity in that sense. It's a bit different because it wasn't consensual. They didn't agree to it. Do you know what I mean? So, but sometimes in life we do agree to things that don't work out for us, or we agree to things that maybe if we had our time over, we'd choose differently. But it's important to note that you did the best you could at the time, and you made the best choice that you felt was the right choice at the time, rather than beating yourself up over it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't beat myself up over the fact that I lost my virginity at 16. It was very, very young to lose it. Very young, I think, personally. I was really young and had my first boyfriend. I was a dumb kid that didn't know how serious it actually was. I wanted a kid at the time. I didn't know you need to start puberty to have a kid. Thank God I tried after puberty. I was really young and had my first boyfriend. I was a dumb kid that didn't know how serious it actually was. I wanted a kid at the time. I didn't know you had to start puberty to have a kid. Thank God. I try after puberty. I didn't feel any need to do it. I only did it because I wanted a kid. Yeah. Lots of there's quite a number of asexuals that want to have sex for children. So you're underage, basically. Yeah. I don't know if you know my personal story. You probably don't, but some guy under the 2-digit number. Under the 2-digit number. Under 10 years old. Oh my God. Wow. Oh my God. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Yeah, I understand you felt like you were coerced into it. Are you the same age? You were the same age. Yeah, I was wondering if they were older than you, because that's really weird behaviour. But don't forget, if you know my personal story about 6 years old, there was a guy trying to do things, look at my bits when I was 6. And that I didn't really want him to do it. Again, it was pressured into it. Do you know what I mean? It's horrible. I hated it. Oh, I like the kissing. At 6 years old, I was kissing a lot. Yeah, but like you say, it depends. Like, yeah, kids do dumb shit, but some kids know exactly what they're doing. I was very, very old for my age. So at 6 years old, the reason that I let a guy do something to me is because I was lacking love in my life. And so I thought I could get it through him. He used to bribe me in all sorts at 6 years old, and he was the same age as me as well. And I was passionately kissing him as well. Passionately kissing him, I loved at 6 years old. I didn't understand the fact it was serious and stuff. Yeah. It's difficult for you, isn't it? You've been through a lot of stuff in your life already. That's probably why you're quite mature for your age. Do you know what I mean? Because you've been through a lot of life experiences already. I think it's really surprising how this is the first time I've told the full story publicly. I know it's very brave of you. It's very, very brave of you. I expect there'll be someone out there in the world that can relate to you. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it is quite shocking at the age you were, but I do, like I had a counsellor that laughed at me. Like I was 17 to 19 years old in birth certificate age. I went to see a counsellor at college for lots of different problems I was having. And I was so upset at age between 17 and 19. And what happened to me was 6 years old. I mean, that's 11 plus years before, because the guy did, look at my parts when I didn't really want him to. I didn't want him to, but I felt like I had to. And it really, really mentally did a lot of problems, damage, because I was like, I don't want this happening to me. But I felt like it was the only thing I could do to get any love. After I realised how serious it was, I regretted it and held it against me for years until I forgave myself in 7th grade. Yeah, you've got to forgive yourself. I know what it's like though, because I felt really guilty about the guy just seeing my bits. I felt so, so guilty, like so bad, because I felt like I shouldn't have allowed him to do that to me. And it was under really bad pressurized circumstances. And he used to bribe me with my food. He used to say, oh, if you give me food, I'll still be your boyfriend and stuff like that. So I used to have food at breaks and he used to take it off me and things like that. Like, well, I used to give it to him on the bribe that he would still be my boyfriend and love me if I gave him food. And it's horrible. It's a horrible message for children. If you grow up in that environment where, you're made to feel like you can only get love through someone taking something of yours because you'll feel blackmailed, it's absolutely disgusting, and that can have real damage later on. Some of the things that went on in my childhood, I've got real, the issues that come up in my adultness, and it's hard sometimes. It's really difficult because you don't expect them to crop up again, but they do. I mean, especially when that is a really bad situation. You have to get love you can't get love for someone just for being you. You have to like give things to people in order to get love back. It's like you're not worthy of love in of your own right just for being you. And that's such a bad message to send to a young kid, and it stays with them for life. And that's how they end up in abusive relationships and bad relationships like I have, because there's a lack of self-love, there's a lack of love from other people in the past. And it's all sort of to do with is to do with like thinking you have to give something first of yourself in order to get any sort of love and affection. I just think that's so horrible. I mean, it's now I know why I've got some of the issues I've got, because the child, but some of them I've dealt with, some of them I've got better and got over, or at least got round them and managed them. But it can be really damaging you. I really feel for you, because I know how hard that can be in my life. Do you know what I mean? I didn't publicise it at first because I thought people would say it caused me to be ace, but in reality, he was getting pleasure, I could tell, but I didn't even care about it. I got nothing from it. We're the same age. You're both under 10 then. I can't understand how someone under that age would even get any pleasure out of that. But like I said, the guy at 6, he liked looking at my bit, so that my theory would go out the window a bit, wouldn't it, with the fact that when they hit puberty, they're born asexual, then when they hit puberty they change into a sexual person. That doesn't actually go with my theory, but I still reckon people are not, I don't know, people hit it at different ages. Yeah, well, they didn't go through puberty then though, did they, themselves? But yeah, it's really difficult for you. I'm so sorry that happened to you. A lot of guys get it earlier than girls. I'm really sorry that happened to you. Do you know what I mean? I know it's really difficult because I carried that burden for years in my life. You know, I seriously, the thing with 6 years old, I just felt so bad about it for years because I just thought it's not right. And I knew it wasn't right, but I let it happen despite knowing it wasn't right because I thought that the love feeling I would get would be better than the guilt feeling, I guess. Or, you know, but when I was 17 to 19 years old, I said to the counsellor what happened, and she's just laughing at me, going, "It's doctors and nurses, it's normalised. It's not normal to me, it's wrong. I shouldn't have let him do that, and it's wrong. It's just, he shouldn't have even been like that in the situation, and he was bribing me. You don't get a guy 6 years old bribing someone, it's disgusting." Do you know what I mean? And she thought it was just normal exploration. I'm like, it's gross. I just was so upset and crying. And she couldn't understand. This is a counsellor at college. She just couldn't get it. Now I know it's because I'm asexual, because obviously the greater population must not think like me. Do you know what I mean? They must be fine with exploring. And I'm like, no, it wasn't exploring. It was upsetting. It was pressurized. That's not freaking normal. Yeah. I don't think it's normal at all. I don't think it's normal. You know, I really, really don't. There's only one good thing that came out of that was the fact that years later I did have an accident 3 days before my 12th birthday, so 6 years later, and my parents said that this guy who did that to me when I was 6, they mentioned him because my parents didn't know everything that went on. They know that now. Well, my dad knows that. I don't think my mum does, but I confessed to my dad years later, and he's like, "Oh, don't do that when you're older." But 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 yeah, because I felt so bad about it. Why would someone think it's normal? Exactly. Apparently, that's what I got told by counsellor it is, and she couldn't understand why I was so distraught and upset, and I was beside myself. And the fact she didn't understand me made things worse. You know, because it made me feel like I was in the wrong, like it was fine what he did when it wasn't. It invaded me. You know, to me, it felt like it was invasion of me, my body. It was horrible. You know, it didn't make, you know, none of these made me asexual because I've had sex since all these, this experience. And I was abused when I was 15 years old. I had a guy trying to force sex on me, which didn't happen, luckily, when I was 15, so underage. But I managed to physically stop it. I didn't say no, I was just in shock, but I physically had to stop him, which thank you, which was difficult. But, you know, I was able to. I didn't even speak about what happened when I was 15 till I found out I was asexual. I don't think I mentioned it to my parents even. I don't think. Till I found out I was asexual, I think it was. Or the year before, one of those 2 years. But I think it was actually after I was asexual. Because I feel more secure now in myself. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I know what I want now and I won't take rubbish, you know? And but I've had my sexual relationships since then. So it hasn't stopped me having sexual relationships in the past, any of this stuff. But do you know what I mean? It's obvious that I was asexual back then. It's obvious to me. But I just didn't know because I love the kissing. I love the kissing so much, even at 6 years old. I remember thinking this is such a wonderful feeling. And I just wanted it to never end. But then the bit afterwards, oh yeah, I was saying, just know that karma caught up to them at some point. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So when I had my accident 3 days before my 12th birthday, I got knocked over by a moped. I was unconscious, woke up in the ambulance, and so I don't remember a lot of it. I remember the bus material. I remember the train came at once. I remember the bus material on the bus. And then when I came out of hospital, I didn't have to have any stitches. It was a miracle, my mum said. And I saw my blood from my head, the side of the road when I came back. So where the smashed visor from this moped that hit my head. It was very surreal, very surreal. It was a very weird feeling because it was like I completely blacked out when unconscious. And in that moment, I thought there is nothing. So technically, then I thought there could be nothing after death because I wasn't dead, but I was completely unconscious, blacked out, and I don't know any of that bit that happened in between until I woke up in the ambulance. I was no bright light, no consciousness whatsoever, nothing. However, I say that, but apparently when I got into the ambulance, I was struggling, and the ambulance guy slapped me, and my mum said that she could have sued him for slapping me because I was getting hysterical, apparently, going like this. So I must have had some consciousness, but I don't remember it. But apparently this guy, my parents said this guy was really upset about the incident, the accident. And that was the same guy that did that to me at 6. So I thought to myself, well, at least he had some emotional feeling towards me then. I presume it's because it was me. Obviously, I guess seeing someone have an accident like that is not great anyway. But I just felt good that in a little way that he actually had some feeling towards me at that point, feeling of upset that I was hurt, injured. Do you know what I mean? That was the only thing that I thought was any good. But yeah, so it was really difficult. I think there's a lot of difficult things in life that you just have to think you did the best you could at the time, and things happen, because if you hold it against yourself, it's not good. Like the thing that happened when I was 15, I never even thought about it being attempted rape. I didn't think about it like that. I just thought of it as a bad incident. Just a bad incident that happened. That was it. And I think in a way that's good, in a way that I did minimalize it like that. But it wasn't until I saw a counsellor later on and she started inviting me to a group to do with being raped that I'm like, oh, so it was attempted rape, I guess. And I didn't even think about it like that. I'm stuck with the specific person I talked about. He's in one of my classes. Eek. He's now a player. That figures. That is hard for you. That is really, really tough for you. How do you cope? Have you got any? He said hi. Oh, God. Yes. I just ignore him. I mean, the guy at 15 years old, I mean, it's difficult because you're in school with them, so it's a bit hard to completely ignore them, isn't it? Because obviously you got teachers watching you and stuff. But in the guy when I was 15, he wants. I mean, by the way, the guy who's when I was 15, he was 18. I was 15 when he tried to have sex with me when I didn't want it. And the next woman after that, he got pregnant because my parents' neighbours. That's how I met him. Well, not next door, but the one after. Said he's got a new girlfriend and she's expecting a baby. So I knew that that's basically what he wanted, and that would have ended up being me. You know, I'm so adverse to having kids personally myself. I can't stand it. So I'm so glad that he didn't get his way with me, because it's just ridiculous. I don't hate the kid. It's a secret we both hold. We've grown respect for each other for some reason. We aren't friends though. Well, I suppose it's better than hating each other. You know, because hate is a negative emotion, isn't it? And if you're at school together, it's hard because, you know, you've got teachers watching, and if you know what I mean, it's awkward, isn't it? But you know that, you know, if as long as you're okay and you're staying safe and you're all right, then, and you don't, you know, get with him again later on in life and stuff like that, because he's not going to be good for you. But you know what I mean, especially when he's had that sort of power over you in the past. Do you know what I mean? He wouldn't be very good in that way. But you both put it behind us. Yeah, I mean, there was a guy, I don't know if you're on my channel, when I told you when I was 16, you know, the guy I lost my virginity to, he apologized years later. I mean, loads of years later, for the way he treated me. And so I do still speak to him if I see him, but I'm not friends with him. He wanted to be friends with me on Facebook and I didn't accept it. I'm like, I don't want to be friends with you again. I don't mind, you know, because he came into my old job. I started going back to do voluntary work underneath him, because I used to work to hospital radio presenter. That's how I met him. And I went back. He invited me back to the hospital radio station. So I went back there to be a radio presenter, and then I met his new girlfriend. This is years ago again now. I don't do hospital radio presenting anymore. So yeah, so he did apologize to me. He came to me years later because he was so guilty, and turned up in my work one day and had to say he was sorry to me. So I was really happy about that. Like, I don't ever forget what happened, but it makes it better that he said sorry. I'm like, oh, you did actually give a toss about me. Do you know what I mean? Then you did actually feel something. You did actually feel bad about that. Do you know what I mean? And I even got in car with him afterwards, and he wasn't a great guy, but you know, so I think his girlfriend's wonderful. He's got an amazing girlfriend. She's perfect for him. So I'm never jealous of his girlfriend. His girlfriend suits him so well. So I'm glad I'm not with him anymore. I'm glad he broke up with me years ago. But the way he treated me with, you know, with pressurizing me into sex at 16 wasn't a good thing. He shouldn't have done that. It was really bad. But he said he was sorry, and that meant the world to me. Coming back years later and saying that, he obviously felt guilty about it. My mum thinks I forgot about it. The thing is, you don't forget about something like that, because especially when it's a bodily experience, you can't forget about it. Do you know what I mean? Unless you completely cull it and block it off from your emotions, and that's not really facing up to reality, is it? And blocking everything out is not the answer, because it's just going to come back later on. Something's going to trigger that. It's better to deal with it and face it than hide these type of things. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, like, I can't ever forget who I lost my virginity to, can I? Unless I did something major to my brain and lived a lie and just completely tried to block it out with using some sort of brain manipulation to myself. But do you know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. I wonder if she thinks it's why I'm ace. It makes sense as to why she doesn't think I'm permanent ace. Does she think you are asexual then? Because if she does, she'd probably accept it then, wouldn't she? If she thinks you are asexual. I think asexual's a bit different anyway, isn't it? Because she's still got a boyfriend at the end of the day. She has an open theory it's caused by a health issue. Oh, she thinks that asexuality is caused by a health issue. Oh, like a lot of them, like you've got a sexual dysfunction disorder, or you've got psychological problems because you've been abused or whatever. Is that what they think? That's what a lot of people say. But it's like, if that was true of me, I would never have had sex again. Do you know what I mean? She doesn't think my asexuality is valid. But you've told her you're asexual, have you? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what she thinks. You don't need her to validate you. That's the most important thing. You have to say my asexuality is non-negotiable. That's what I say to people. I did a video about this a long time ago. Over and over again, I've explained it. Yeah, but the thing is, if she's not listening, she's never going to change it. So you just carry on being asexual. What you do is you just talk about it. You know, that's what I did. That's what I did. Because I had two people in my life, in my work, that didn't accept it. They knew me before I was asexual. One was gay as well, which is obviously we're supposed to be part of LGBT plus QIA, and he's gay, very, very gay. And he didn't believe me. He wouldn't accept it. He wouldn't accept the fact I was asexual. It caused a lot of problems between me and him. It took him a year to accept it, and all I did was keep going on about it. Like, oh, I'm going to an asexual meetup. I'm speaking to these asexuals online. I'm really happy I'm asexual. I'm doing this asexual video. And so rather than explaining it, I just tell it like it is. Because if you explain it, you're like validating yourself, trying to get validation. They're never going to validate you. So don't get validation from them. Get it from yourself. She ends up trying to make it seem that I either stay lonely or give in to sex, or that I'll change, and it hurts me emotionally. She ends up trying to make it seem that I either stay lonely or give in to sex, or that will change, and it hurts me emotionally. So it leads to a fight because I want to protect myself. Yeah, but all you have to say is there's thousands of asexuals. There's thousands of people like me around the globe who don't even want it. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're probably wasting your breath if she's not going to accept it. Like I said, with these people, I never tried to change their mind. These people that didn't accept it, I just kept going on about the fact I was asexual. So they got so fed up of hearing it, they just accepted it. Because they like, oh, whatever. Fine, I accept it now. Do you know what I mean? They just got so fed up with it. Because I was just being myself. I was just speaking my truth, and I carried on speaking my truth, because your mum's not going to validate you, so you have to validate yourself. You have to know that your asexuality is non-negotiable. I'm waiting to see her face when she finds out I have a boyfriend that loves me for who I am. Yeah, exactly. It's good. You can say that to her, you know? And you can say that you're wise enough to know that it's not true. It's because it's probably a reflection of her life, that she's lonely and that she feels like she has to give in to sex or stay lonely, because she can only get a sexual relationship, I'm guessing. That's probably what the situation is, because people tend to reflect out what they actually are themselves, don't they? But you know what she's talking about is not true. I know it hurts you, I can tell, but you know, you have to understand that your asexuality is non-negotiable. No, it's because of how she views things. A lot of people view things as a reflection of themselves, though, without knowing it. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, don't try and you won't get validation from her. Instead of trying to get validation, getting her to change her mind, be strong in who you are. Stick up for yourself in that way. And just say, there's loads of people around like me, but yeah, it's hard for you. I do feel for you. It's very different with parents. Parents don't always listen, and they can put you down, and it feels horrible because when they're your parents, you expect them to love you unconditionally. You expect them to be there for you. You expect them to just accept you and love you for who you are. And really, that's all you want, isn't it? You just want someone to say, I love you for who you are. You're amazing. You're beautiful, which I will tell you anyway in my life. The thing is, I tell her not to bring up why she thinks I'm ace, and she still does. Right, I mean, she's trying to get you to change your mind. Just don't have any of it, Walk away if you need to. She has lack of respect for me in many ways. I know. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes these people want a reaction out of you, your parents included, sadly. They want to, sometimes they have this attitude of tough love. She thinks because she's the parent that she knows everything. I know, but parents don't know everything. Parents really don't know everything. They live in a completely different era to what we live in. They don't even know the world as we see it. They only see a shadow of it. Do you know what I mean? They see what they want to see, not the true reality of what our life is like. And I really get you. I really understand the parent thing. When you've got someone who just blatantly goes over your boundaries, doesn't respect you, just carries on regardless, it's not nice. And unfortunately, we'll never change those type of people. And it's horrible. The only thing we can do when we're older in life is choose not to spend as much time with them, which is sad because, you only get one life and you love your parents. Like I know you love your mum, like I love my parents. And you want to spend time with them. You want it to be like, I really appreciate you. I really love you. But, sometimes there's a lack of appreciation from parents to kids, just because we're ourselves. Just because we're living our truth, just because we're different and we don't follow the crowd and we don't have to believe everything our parents believe and we don't have to live the life of our parents, but they see that as something that's, that is different to them and they can't comprehend it. But it's true, we have the right to be ourselves and to be loved and respected for our being ourselves. But, I do know that some parents are like that. It doesn't matter whatever you do, they will always try and railroad you and put you down as a form of manipulation to get what they want, which is for you to agree with them. And you're like me, you won't just agree with someone for the sake of agreeing usually. If I just agreed with everyone for the sake of agreeing, my life would be so much easier and simple, but I can't do it. I can't lie. I can't sit there lying and pretend to be something I'm not just to keep the peace. I just can't do it. I just won't do it. I just refuse to do it. That's not who I am. I want to stick up for myself. I mean, I have to learn sometimes to just walk away or just be quiet. That's really hard for me sometimes. Yeah, I do say to survive. Yeah, you have to sometimes. Yeah, I call it damage limitation. So it's a technique I use that if someone's like saying something to me and they're being really horrible, it can make you physically shake inside as well. And this could obviously be apparent, even though you don't want it to be. And they don't have a clue how it makes you feel, and they're having a go at you and you can be physically shaking inside, just they can't see it. And so in order to survive, you just have to minimize what you say, speak on a really low tone of voice. So if I was like speaking in damage limitation mode, I'd be speaking like this, which is really difficult for me to talk like this because it's not the way I usually speak, but it's on a very, very, very low key tone voice, you see. Yeah, it's really good you isolate yourself a lot from her. I mean, it's not good you have to do that, but it's better for you. Because you have to do damage limitation, like I said, and go in your room and go to other places, go for a walk, get away from that environment. I mean, I hope you get fully away eventually because it's horrible for you. It's horrible to live like that. And it's really, really, what's really painful is when these are people that or a person that you love and care about so much, and all you do is just want them to love you for who you are. You just want them to cuddle you and say, I love you. You're beautiful in your own right. You're absolutely stunningly gorgeous. So I'm here to tell you that, my life, you're absolutely beautiful in your own right, and you're stunningly gorgeous. All right? Beautiful personality, very intelligent, very emotionally in tune with a lot of things. You've learnt a lot in your life. You've been through so much. I convinced her to let me walk in the small wooded spot alone in our trailer park. Wow. That's a big deal, isn't it? So long as it's safe for you, because I would hate anything to happen to you. Do you know what I mean? That was one of the best days of my life. Oh, bless you. So long as it's safe. Do you know what I mean? But you're a wolf, so I'm sure you can handle it. She never gave me freedom till then. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's very difficult. Very difficult. I mean, my parents are kind of the opposite since I've left home, in the sense that they don't usually call me unless I phone them. So it's like, that was this year by, oh my gosh, very, very protective. Very, very protective over you, aren't they? You know, it's horrible though when someone tries to invalidate your own sexual orientation, because, you know, it's who you are. It's part of you, and no one has the right to take that away from you. You know, you can perfectly make your own decisions. She keeps you on a tight leash a lot. Oh, it's not good though, because you've got so much life experience as well. Does, you know, she doesn't know I'm pan-romantic. It's, you know, I mean, when you get out of that situation, you move out of home, which would be really good for you when you get your own money behind you and can move out of your own home. You know, it'll be so much better, because it won't matter what she says. You can tell her what you like, and if she doesn't like it, you can just walk back to your home and say, I'm not listening. Bye. But when you're under their roof, they're paying for the bills, you can't turn around and say that to them. Do you know what I mean? You're kind of a bit stuck. So, I mean, you can, but, you know, there's always that threat there, isn't there? There's always that threat of something being taken away from you. It's not kind of safe. But when you're living on your own, you can say what you like, do what you like, and it's like, well, that's it. Do you know what I mean? It's what it is. I am what I am. I am who I am, and that's the way it is in my life. But it's really difficult for you. Really difficult for you. I do feel for you a lot, you know? I do feel for you a lot. Whenever she talks LGBT plus, I feel a strong urge to defend my people, but it's hard because I can't raise her suspicion with her. Yeah, but you still have a right to say something if you want to. I don't know her reaction though, because I don't know her, and you told me it's not good. But you could say, well, I don't see a problem with it. I don't understand what the problem is, because I don't really understand what people got the problem. Why have people got the problem with a guy loving a guy, or she'd yell and go to the elders at church? Oh, well, oh, and take away, yeah. You're in a situation where you just can't do much then until you left home, really. It's sad. It's sad. It's like that, but it is what it is, isn't it? You know what I mean? So you know your situation better than me, better than anyone. Free at 18, exactly. You're 18 next year, aren't you? I think you said, didn't you? To me, next year. But you know, I think it'll be really good for you when you're 18. But like you said, you March. Oh, my mum and dad's birthday's in March. What day in March? You're a Pisces. Whee! I'm guessing you're a Pisces. I'm a Taurus, the bull. 15th. Oh, happy birthday. Yeah. My dad's is on the 19th and my mum's on the 4th of March. And usually Mother's Day is quite near her birthday. Lately. Oh, happy birthday for then. That's really good for you. Yeah. So you've just got to sit tight, basically, like you say. Sound like you're doing all the right things, damage limitation, you know, spending the least amount of time with her as possible. You know the situation. I think you're very wise. Very wise. You know better than anyone else, you know. I mean, if you know, like, I think everyone done it for 5 years so far. Oh my gosh. That's a very good skill. Very, very good skill. It's hard though. I do know a guy watched this channel who lives in the UK, and he said he came out to his mum after 5 years of being silent because of my channel. He felt safe here, which is really nice. He felt safe enough to, and she was a little bit confused at first and then accepted it. So that was really, really good. I don't know if he still watches, so I hope he does. But it's really, really nice. He's aromantic, asexual, doesn't experience romantic attraction, but from what I remember. But yeah. Oh wow, my life. That's amazing. It's really hard though, isn't it? We have to keep secrets for 5 years. But I think as kids, sometimes you do have to protect yourself. I think that's got to be your go-to action. I mean, I say that everyone should be out about their asexuality, but obviously, if you're in a situation where, you know, there could be abuse and stuff like that, then because you are still living at home with your parents, then of course I don't recommend it. You know, your safety is the most important thing. I slipped up a few times, but convinced her it was some other thing. She, thank God, trusts me with enough things and thinks I'd never lie. It's so horrible though, because she's encouraging you. She thinks she knows me. She even says she knows me, huh? Maybe she says that as an insecurity thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think the woman at my local supermarket knows me better than I know myself sometimes, with the way she tells me to go back and get the shop. She's like, has you got this for your shopping? I'm like, how do you know I need this? It's really funny. But yeah, she does. It's sad, isn't it? I think it's really sad when there's opposition to someone being themselves in life. But there was a guy, a customer in my old job, and he was very anti-LGBT, like very homosexual, sorry. Very, you know, like he was very against gays. And he was a customer, and it was horrible because I have to, like, I can't say nasty things to a customer. Do you know what I mean? The day I reveal my secrets is the day I'm fully free. Yes, I know. I can't wait for that for you. You'll be totally free then. You'll be able to say everything and be like, walk out and go, bye. Do you know what I mean? It's just such a shame. I don't know why people have to be like that, you know? Like, I accept people for whoever they are. You know, I have friends that are cross dressers. I know people that are transgender. You know, I know you that's gender fluid. I know people that are homoerotic. I know, you know, like I know like non-binary, my friend is, and do you know what I mean? Like, I'm so open-minded, but I guess I wasn't as open-minded before I knew I was asexual. If I'm honest, I don't think I was as open-minded and accepting as I am now. So asexuality has made me a much, you know, knowing about asexuality has made me a much better person, I think. I plan to reveal my boyfriend at my grad party in front of everyone from church. Oh wow! Your grad party's next year, isn't it? Wow. That's gonna be amazing. That's gonna be a picture. That's gonna be a photographic moment, isn't it? It's gonna be a real photographic moment. I'm really pleased you've got him because he seems like he wants to be in your life for life, if you know what I mean. You'll record it. You'll record it. I want to put it on my channel. No, it's private. Sorry. I just get excited about stuff like that. I think it's really sweet. Really, really sweet. Oh, wow. That sounds amazing. I'm really pleased for you. It'll be lovely to have your graduation party. Really, really, really lovely. Oh, you'd let me see it. Yeah, you can email it to me, can't you? Because you've got my email address now, asexualist@gmail.com. Yeah, you don't want the whole world to see it, but yeah, yes. So, oh, I'm really pleased for you. I love it when love works out. I love it when relationships work out and they're healthy and good and you're good for each other. I think it's really important, you know. It's really weird for me because I have asexual friends and some of those close friends have got really qualities I'd love to have in a romantic relationship. Obviously, I'm not romantically compatible with them. But I think, God, I really love these qualities to be in a romantic relationship. I really love these qualities because there's one guy who's like my best. Well, I've got two guy. Well, I've got a person who's non-binary, so they're they them now. They're my bestest ever asexual friend, and then I've got another best asexual friend as well. And the other best asexual friend, like I'm really close to them, and the way they the way they are with me in a lot of aspects, I'd love it if a boyfriend had those qualities. It's kind of what I've always wanted in a relationship. But obviously, I'm not suitable with them in a relationship, with him, because my best friend, they're homo-romantic. They got a boyfriend, and this other guy, we're not compatible to be together in a romantic relationship. But he's got a lot of the qualities I'd like, because he's like a really good friend. I told some of my teachers, me and my boyfriend had last year, and they so shipped it lost out. They even say we're the perfect couple. Oh, it's nice they support you. Oh, it's really good. Told some of my teachers, me and my boyfriend had last year, and they were so. Oh, that's really nice. This is a boyfriend you got now, yeah? She said boyfriend had last year. Presume you mean the boyfriend you've got now. Yeah. Oh, that's really sweet. That's really sweet. It's really nice as well that that person's your best friend before you got into a relationship, because I think it makes it so much better. It's just that I haven't met a guy that's my best friend that's suitable to be a partner. I haven't got that. It's kind of like, it's because I like a lot my two best guy friends, like my best guy friend who's asexual, and the non-binary person, they've got some really good qualities that I love in them. Both of them have got really nice qualities, and I really hope that I get that in a romantic relationship, those combined qualities. Me and him had classes together since 10th grade when we first met. Then 11th we will this school year, but next semester. Oh, oh, that's so sweet. What are you both going to do after you leave school then? Are you going to go to the same college or university? Have you made any plans that far, or are you going to live together in the future and get jobs, or what are you going to do? Do you know that far ahead yet, or have you not thought about that yet? Do you know what I mean? So I still haven't asked if he's going to college. Yeah, it's important to know that you're still gonna be seeing each other, isn't it? Are you plan to go to college? Yeah. It's important you continue your education and do the things you want to do in life and grow together, isn't it? It's really important. Really important. Do you know what I mean? Especially if you've been friends for such a long time. I'm hoping to be able to live with him. Oh, that'd be so sweet. That'd be so sweet. But you have to get if you go to college, you'd have to get a job, or he'd have to get a job to pay for the bills, wouldn't he? Or you both have to get a job as well as studying. That can be really hard unless you go to college first, but then you want to get out of the place with your mum, don't you? Can't really stay with your mum, so you're going to have to get a job and move out anyway. But you might have to do college night school or something if they can do that instead. Do you know what I mean? Where you can go to night school so you can work in the day and then go to college a couple of nights a week and do a class or something. Do you know what I mean? That might be a solution. Like 1 or 2 nights a week or 3 nights a week, go and do college, and then it'll be quite hard in the sense that you've got everything to take into consideration: a boyfriend, bills, and college. But I'm sure you can do it. Other people manage. He's not just the best friend I've ever had, but he's the best partner I've ever had. That's really nice. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday, weren't we? Love a companion partner. You've met a partner. That's so important. I haven't met a partner. I've got a companion. And I've got the Indian guy who I dance with, who's a lover type guy, not lover as in sex, because I don't have sex. But I've not got a partner. I haven't met that partner yet. But there's, the world's my oyster, isn't it? I'm single, live on my own, I can do what I want when I want, move where I want. So I mean, I might have to move for a job in the end. I might have to, or I might want to move. Do you know what I mean? To a different place. I mean, I love my flat here. Don't get me wrong, but if a job comes up that I think is going to be really good, I might leave and go to another place. Or if my career takes off in other ways, I might go to a city where I've got more chance of getting customers. Do you know what I mean? So the world's my oyster. I've just got to think that way. Do you know what I mean? I think you have to think that way. And there's thousands of people I haven't met there in the world. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I think that's the way you've got to think. But it's really good. I think, you have to be best friends with someone for a very long time. That's why it's gonna, with me, I haven't even got anyone in my life that's interested in being a partner to me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like the two best friends I've got, neither of them are suitable for a relationship, with me. One of them obviously definitely isn't, because I think you'll find someone. Yeah, I think I'll find someone. My Indian guy would be great. I got such a thing for Indian guys. It's just unreal. I just believe I'm meant to be with an Indian guy. Yeah, I've known since 2014 intuitively I'm meant to be with an Indian guy. I don't know how the heck I know that. That's because I never had an Indian boyfriend in the past. But since 2014, when I found out I was asexual, then I'm like, oh, I'm meant to be with an Indian guy. Just like they tick most of my attractions, or all of them. And I just believe I'm meant to be with an Indian, but I don't want sex, I don't want marriage, I don't want kids. And I don't want to be a housewife, which really doesn't fit in with their culture and ideology. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't. So I don't know. But if you find a lifelong boyfriend, I'll send anniversary presents. Oh, I love you so much. Thank you. That's so sweet. Thank you. I haven't got anyone remotely close to being a boyfriend. No one in my life. Just myself. I'll be a boyfriend to myself. Oh, dearie me. I think Mickey Mouse is the only one. A cuddly toy. Never give up. No, I won't give up on love, because it's something I really want. And I don't know why, but I always think I'm meant to be with an Indian guy, and the least a younger foreign guy. Maybe the guy looks Indian but not actually from India or something like that. But for some reason, I think I'm meant to be with an Indian guy. I just know it. I just know I have a soulmate who's Indian. I don't know how I know it. I just know it. I think I knew them in past life. But I don't know, like there was an Indian guy that showed up tonight, but he just wants friendship and lives in India. So it's like, do you know what I mean? I do talk to some Indian guys, but it's like, it's no good. I need one in the UK. Do you know what I mean? If I went over to India, I'd have a field day. Mum, so you have a boyfriend? Kid, yes. Dad, who? Kid, myself. Yeah, is that what I say about myself? At the moment, I'm probably the best boyfriend to myself I've ever had. Do you know what I mean? Like, at least I'm strong for myself and can man up. Woo! Oh, dearie me. We do talk about some funny things on this channel, and serious things. I'm glad it's turned out to be quite funny. It's quite a serious topic, like getting a life partner for me. But, I really want to be with Indian guy. I don't know what it is, but, with Indian guys, it's just completely different. I really feel physically comfortable around them. I have no idea why. It's just completely different. It's like the only guy I've been able to dance close with at the club I go to is an Indian guy. Dad, how does that work? Kid, every anniversary I have a bubble bath and eat chocolate whilst watching my favourite show. I don't actually have a bath, I only have a shower here. But it's funny. What was so funny, right, it cracks me up. I told you I'm in this UK sexual dating group. It's called UK Dating, right? Facebook group. And someone put a picture of chocolate cake in there, and I wanted to say, yeah, I'll have me some of that, but I don't want sex, thank you very much. But it was just so funny. It's like, anyone for chocolate? I'm thinking, yep, that's what I want. None of this sex stuff in here, just the chocolate stuff. Oh, it's so funny. But I noticed people posts in there selling stuff. I don't think anyone removes it. So when my book comes out, my Asexual Guide to Sex book, I can stick it in there. I might sell a few. I mean, they are hypersexual in there, a lot of them, but this is the best, that Asexual Guide to Sex book is going to be the best sex book ever written, isn't it? It's going to teach them a lot that they don't know about. So I might pop it in there and see if I can get away with it, because it doesn't really, if I get kicked out, it's not the end of the world, is it? It's a sexual group. It's not like I'm probably, it's going to be highly, it's a minute chance of getting an asexual guy in there. I'm still trying though, but I'm still in there. And it's interesting to see how a sexual dating group works compared to an asexual dating group. Like, sexual dating groups are so much more proactive. They're always posting pictures and doing videos, and commenting, but a lot of them are rubbish. A lot of them are like fake accounts or after visas and stuff like that, and after money. So half of them are like that. But you know what I mean? They're much more proactive in a group like that, really. I wish asexual groups were more proactive, but I guess we're a bit different. But yeah, so I just thought I was funny with the chocolate cake. But yeah, I might put my book in there. I thought, oh, perfect way to come out of the closet, stick it in the Bible on a page that references it, and say, well, it's no longer law to be straight and cis, and then state your position in LGBT plus. They'll eventually find it. Stick it in the Bible. Yeah, but Mary was a virgin, wasn't she, anyway? And she had a kid, so it's pretty obvious that asexuality exists, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just strange. But yeah, that's a very innovative way. But my mum and dad, they couldn't grasp the concept of they and them the other day. Later, she had kids with her hubby, though. They'll eventually find later she had kids with her hubby, though. Who are we talking about now? What was I saying about my parents? Oh, yeah, because my friend is now identifying as non-binary. I have to call them they, them. Oh, Jesus had half siblings. Ah, right, okay. So with my non-binary friend, I have to call them they, them now, which is taking me a while to get my head around it. And when I'm talking to my parents about them, then my parents are like, oh, stop saying them. Them's plural. Them's not meant to be for just one singular person. Why are you saying it? So, and I understand because obviously years, that is what them means. It does take a while. Yeah, it's taken me a while. It takes me ages because I keep, I keep cocking it up. One minute I'm saying them, and then I keep going to he by accident. So I'm trying to say them, and it's really weird because I try to. They're coming to see me next month for 5 days and 4 nights, 5 days. They're staying in a hotel, and it's their birthday because that's when we're having an asexual meetup on the Sunday, the 27th of October, and we're going to this Disney on Ice show together. I can't wait. 100 years of Disney on Ice. Amazing. I can't wait on the 26th of October. My mum paid for that, actually. But obviously, I talk about they and them. And my mum, like you say, they, them has been used for a person for centuries, actually. I watched videos about it and read stuff too. Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. It's, well, sometimes you refer to them as in third person when you're writing. As in the sentence, what do you think about them? So, like, what do you think about them? So you can use it in literature, English literature, you can use it. But when people are talking about someone, they usually don't refer to them as much. But yeah, it is in literature. Like, what do you think about them? Is a common question. But yeah, so my parents, but my mum, when I spoke to her on the phone, I think it was today or yesterday now, my mum's like, oh, Sam Smith is them. And they, I'm like, who's Sam Smith? Oh, the singer. And my mum's like, yeah, the singer. They said they don't know whether they're a man or a woman, so they identify as they and them. I said, yeah, exactly. I said, so now my mum understands. Long time ago, some people actually identified with they, them pronouns. It's been around, but wasn't that well known till recent. I mean, I do find it hard myself to say it because it's very difficult when you're talking in conversation. Like, I was trying to say that, yeah, we're going to this ice show, and I was phoning up for my friend to Disney on Ice. I was phoning up for my friend to see where the tickets are because they needed to book accommodation down here, but they were worried that the tickets were going to come late and they weren't going to get them in time. So I was seeing other ways around it. They'll accept like the email ID. And I phoned where the actual venue is being held, thinking that's where they got the tickets from, which when I read later on the email, because I got a copy of the receipt, because they paid for my ticket. My mum gave me the money for it. So they sent me a copy of my ticket, the receipt for both of us. Obviously, my ticket's included in that. So yeah, because they've changed their name and everything now as well. I was finding out about that for them. But when I phoned the venue, not the actual place that they booked it through, because I didn't realise, because I didn't look at the email properly, I said to the woman, I spoke to this woman who was called Jo, and I started talking and go, hi, I'm coming to this ice show. We've got it booked up. And me and that, I said me and he. I said, oh, sorry, not me and he, me and they, them, pronouns. And then she just put the phone down on me. And every time I tried to phone back, she would just cut me off. And so I think that this person's just got something against the fact that I was calling them they and them. Because I said, oh, he. I said, oh, sorry, they've changed their pronouns now to they, them. I meant they, them. And I started talking and they just kept putting the phone down. I mean, I know this place because my dad actually does courses up there. You know, and I can believe she put the phone down on me. I know about that. It's why I'm okay if someone takes time to get used to my preferred pronouns, which is he, isn't it? He, they, them, isn't it? Is that right? Is that right? He, they, them. I think you said it is, didn't you? I think. He and they, them. Yeah, he, they, them. Yeah. So yeah, it's I don't know why this woman put the phone down on me, but I got the impression she put the phone down on me because I started going on about pronouns and she couldn't hack it. And so every time I phone up, I just get cut off the phone. I thought that's so rude. It's just like, do you know what I mean? They shouldn't be doing that. And then I realised the tickets were bought from somewhere else and phoned that number. But that's how come it's very difficult in conversations, especially when one of my friends, who's a trans guy but still female in body, when I say, oh yeah, they got married to their bisexual partner last year and had a baby together, they're like, how can he have a baby? Well, I say he had a baby, you know, he had a baby with his bisexual boyfriend and then they got married. Like, people logically think, well, how can he have a baby when he's a he? Unless they adopted, which they didn't. So it's like, yeah, kind of like, well, had a surrogate. It's kind of like, yeah, it gets a bit complicated at times. Anyway, I think I'm going to end tonight's live stream just by wrapping up now and saying, yeah, so asexuality is a sexual orientation that's not a choice, but sex is a choice. And whether you're asexual or not asexual, you can still choose whether you have sex or not. I think that's an important thing to know, and to note that, you know, some asexuals do have sex and that's their choice to have sex. It doesn't change their sexual orientation. If they don't experience sexual attraction, they're still asexual. And similarly, sexuals can choose to not have sex, but it doesn't make them asexual. Do you know what I mean? Night, stay true to yourself, sister. Preach on. Oh, bless you. Yeah. Anyway, good night to you. Thank you so much, my life. Thank you, Heather, earlier as well. Love you to bits. Thanks for the thumbs up. If you can give me more thumbs up, that would be nice. I'd like to get some more. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, if you're watching this and not subscribed, and hit the great big bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. It's been a beautiful 2 hours of live chat. Thank you so much, my life, for telling your personal story as well. Hopefully it will help some people who see it. I'm sure it will. I'm sure people can relate to similar things that they've been through themselves. And yeah, love you to bits. And thanks everyone else. Until next time, embrace your quirky and each other. I'll see you on the next live stream or video. Good night. Take care. Have a good day wherever you are. Bye. Lots of love. Bye.